welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time seeing my face, or this is not your first time and you still have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button before we get into today's video. Honestly, I feel like I've been owing, like I have not been keeping my promises. I said that I was going to be doing this last days as a teenager series, like 2 to 3 videos a month before my birthday in July, but I've not really been feeling motivated to make this video because I've been more of in a vlogging mood. I haven't really felt motivated to sit down and actually think about this thing, because each time I try to make a video like this, I actually really think about it and I try to liken it to myself, like apply it to myself, also use my experiences to, you know, talk about some things and get some points across. So basically it's a lot of thinking when I want to make a sit down video like this, and I just didn't want to think. Okay, I've not been feeling like thinking this past few weeks, but yeah, this is the 3rd episode of LDAT, Last Days as a Teenager. I'm going to put the 1st episode up here and the 2nd episode up here, so if you have not watched those 2, you can watch those if you are interested in any of those. I'm going to leave my Instagram up here so you can follow me if you want to. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about separating your self-worth from your appearance. I'm going to be using self-worth and self-esteem interchangeably because I feel like in a way they're kind of linked to each other, like they kind of mean the same thing even if they don't exactly mean the same thing. I felt like I need to talk about this because it actually happens a lot, and for the fact that people may not tell you doesn't mean that they don't think about stuff like this. Okay, people do think these thoughts and it's a dark place. In fact, this happens to everyone. You cannot say that there hasn't been a time where because of how you looked you felt like you're not good enough, or you felt like you didn't fit in. Everyone has gone through that, okay? I've gone through that, you have gone through that, okay? So today we're going to talk about how to scale through that and to not constantly associate your self-worth with your appearance. Honestly, it is good to look good, it is good to put effort into how you look, but sometimes, or even all the time, you may not conventionally fit the beauty standards, whether or not we like to admit it. There are people that are conventionally attractive and people that are conventionally unattractive. You can't say everyone is sure, everyone is beautiful, but let me just put this out there. The ones that are ugly in quotes are basically the ones that have unconventional features that are not seen often enough, or even if they are seen, they're not seen as attractive. You may not always feel like you look good even if you do look good. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. The first tip that I have for today is that you should befriend yourself. This may sound a little bit funny, but most people are not necessarily friends with themselves. Befriending yourself basically means you look in the mirror, not literally speaking, you must not look in the mirror, but you think about yourself and you realize that I am my best friend, okay? I am everything to myself. No one is ever going to be as important to myself as I am, except God, of course. Except God. God is number one. You realize that you're the one that's going to have your back no matter what. You're the one that is going to be with yourself through ups and downs. You are the only one that can understand yourself 100%. Whether you think you're ugly or not, you're the only one that's going to be there for you. So you literally have no choice but to be your anchor, to be the person that's holding yourself up. Let's use this example. Let's say you really like someone, let's say your best friend, and the person is constantly talking about how she feels or he feels like he's not good enough. He's constantly lacking self-confidence because he feels like his looks are not up to par. What will you tell that person? You tell that person everything you see in that person. Like, you're not going to throw a pity party for that person. You're going to stand up for that person, and things that you even have never said to yourself, you're going to tell that your friend because you really don't want that person thinking that she's not good enough. So what I'm saying now is that you have to do that for yourself. You don't need to wait for a friend. You need to validate yourself, become your own best friend, and be there for yourself when you're feeling down. The second thing that I would say is very essential to separating your self-esteem from your appearance is that you should maintain originality. Be authentic. There is nothing that radiates as much as being authentic, okay? Being yourself. These days is like everybody is trying to copy everybody, and you can't even tell what is original and what is not anymore, what is real, what is fake. Everyone is trying to be like everyone, and I'm telling you that because of this, anybody that is original, that has their own opinions, that has their own convictions and values, that person literally stands out. So you need to be authentic for you to have higher self-esteem that goes way beyond what you look like. If you actually do try to show who you really are, you're going to find those that are for you. You're going to attract people that are going to make you feel better about yourself. You're going to attract people that are going to make your personality shine even more. It is special, and it raises my self-esteem knowing that I am the only Machiku that is like this Machiku. You may be answering Machiku out there, but I know that I am the only one that's like myself. I'm not trying to copy anybody's personality, even if when I do watch things sometimes and I really like someone, I tend to like glide a little bit towards that person's personality, but in the end, I am not blatantly flat out copying anybody. I'm struggling out here trying to be authentic, okay? So you to be authentic, it makes you feel like you're you. It makes you feel special. You may be trying to copy somebody's personality because you feel like this person is like really cool, or this is how to attract people. But when you start trying to copy somebody else, you're going to start comparing yourself. And the easiest way to crash your self-esteem is to start comparing yourself to somebody, because there is no way you're going to be better at being that person than that person is. There is always someone that is going to be better at you at something. So you can't afford to get into a habit of comparing yourself. Next step, and a very, very important step in separating your self-esteem and your self-worth from your appearance, is finding value and finding worth in your non-physical traits. This is so important because your body is just a shell. It's literally just flesh. It's like your body is just a medium. It's not who you really are. Whether or not you invest in yourself and build your character tells whether or not you are an empty can. What holds value in a person comes from character building and character development. There may be some areas in life where there's value in your physical looks, like let's say if you're going into like entertainment industry or modeling or whatever, but really, can you really survive if all you have is the looks? What is important is what you're good at. Even if you're trying to be a model or you're trying to do something that requires you to look physically appealing, you have to be good at something, and your face is not going to do all of that for you. There are things about yourself that you can acknowledge for you to increase your self-esteem. Let's say you're good at public speaking. Let's say you're good with your hands, you can crochet, you're good at putting on makeup. Honestly, there are so many things. See, look at yourself. There is no way that there is not something you're good at. There is no way there's not something that you can think of. As you're thinking about that thing, your self-esteem is skyrocketing because you're like, I can do this thing really well. Something that really helps me is that I genuinely believe that there is nothing that I cannot do. With God's grace, of course. I feel like anything that I cannot do, it is because I didn't put my entire mind to it. If it's getting a particular grade, if it's starting something that I have never done before, if there's anything that I need to do, like I need to do this thing, I believe that honestly I can do it. And feeling that way makes me feel confident, and that is something that I'm not getting from my appearance. I'm feeling that way because of what I feel like I have inside, what I feel like I have up here, what I feel like I have in here in my heart. Anything at all that you are capable of is a reason for you to see value in yourself. I challenge you today to like just look at yourself and find something. Like it shouldn't be that hard to find. The next thing you should do is that you should not self-deprecate. That is literally the worst. Always telling yourself bad things about yourself, always putting on yourself without following it up with something positive. If you were asked to do something and you didn't do it right, and you're telling yourself, actually, you can never get this thing right, you can never be as smart as your mates are. Doing that type of thing constantly, it brings you down mentally, it brings you down physically even. It prevents you from being motivated to make change. For you to constantly grow as a person and grow your self-esteem, you need to constantly be changing faults and flaws about yourself. You need to focus on the things that you can change and just let go. Like if there's something that happened and you really have no control over it, like it is actually in the past, just let it go and focus on the things you can change. You cannot change how you look, you cannot change your appearance, so why should you focus on that? The more you dwell on the negative, the harder it is to rise above that. So whenever you want to compare yourself to someone, or whenever you want to put down yourself, try and remember the progress you've made. Remember how it was yesterday, how it was a week ago, a month ago, a year ago. See the difference. If you are trying to change and trying to better yourself, there is no way you're not going to see a change, a little difference, even the slightest of differences. That should give you at least a little tinge of happiness. The reason you feel like you're not worthy is because you have constantly told yourself that you're not. Maybe not vocally, but inside, subconsciously, you are constantly thinking this. If you switch it up, change it, and you're constantly thinking, even if you're struggling, but you're constantly telling yourself inside, I am worth it, I am enough, I am confident. Even if as you're saying it, you're telling yourself, why are you lying to yourself? This is not true. Why am I doing this? Even if you feel that way, honestly, continue saying it. There are times you're going to actually feel it, and there are times you're not going to feel it at all. You're going to feel like just lying to yourself, and that is okay. It's not always easy to dwell on the positive, but the important thing is that you're trying. The last thing I would say that I feel is something that really sets you back from leveling up your self-esteem and separating from your appearance is feeding yourself on things that prevent you from feeling like your best self. This point is stop feeding yourself on things that prevent you from feeling like your best self. It could be friends, it could be one particular friend, and whenever you're around her, you feel like you're not enough. Maybe because she dropped some subtle comments that may be harmless. She will not even know that she's saying these things and lowering your self-confidence and self-esteem, but it may be happening, and you may not have enough courage and boldness to walk up to this person and be like, can you like stop? If there is such a person in your life, I advise you, like, you know, take a little distance. Don't make it too obvious, because it may now look like you're trying to like cut the person off. Just know when to seclude. It could be influencers. In fact, it's literally always influencers. Social media, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, maybe. You are seeing the curated versions of people. People do everything they do, both the bad and the good, and you don't see all of that. What you see is what they decide they're going to put on camera. It's not fair to yourself for you to compare yourself to that. You can take social media breaks. Stop seeing things that make you constantly doubt yourself. Learn to set boundaries around yourself. Jealousy is a disease born out of lack of self-esteem or low self-esteem, and jealousy is what you get from constantly comparing yourself to others. You start being envious, you start being jealous, and once you go down that path of jealousy, before you pull yourself out, it's one of the worst things to feel, especially when you're feeling it constantly. And you are going to feel it constantly if you are constantly immersing yourself into someone else's life and comparing your life to that person's life. You need to start feeling like you are worth something. This is the last point for today, and I really hope that something changed in you while listening to this. Is that too much to ask? You've reached the end of this video. If you liked this video, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so we can grow together. As you go out today, as you go out tomorrow, I really hope you're going to realize and going to channel a sense of immense self-worth. Bye guys.